Yeah, morning to our viewers today once again. Today is the 28th day of July 2013. And this year we'll be observing the 28th death anniversary of Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham. Only recently, CARIBCOM has observed its 40th anniversary. And of course, you know the leaders of the region, they met quite recently in Trinidad and Tobago. But we want to start our program today in relation to Forbes Burnham by listening to some of the tributes that were given by various leaders in the region in relation to Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham.
Hospital. He was admitted there at 6 o'clock this morning for surgery to his throat. Unhappily, his heart, which had given trouble in the past, proved unequal to the strain. He died around 10:45 a.m.
He always tried to help people, and he do his best for everybody, in which he say no his people.
The people kept the traditional wakes throughout the country. This wake was kept at Victoria.
I've lost something that I can never regain.
He was, and will remain in our memories, a very special kind of leader.
His sense of history and his keen understanding of how history has shaped our place in the world helped to mold his vision of the Caribbean community and of the possibilities of integration.
He championed our cause on all the fora, on apartheid, on freedom, on justice. And so the loss of President Burnham is not only a loss to the Caribbean, it's a loss to Africa.
We have lost a true friend, but in his passing we must remember all the things he stood for, and that this loss is not only felt by Guyana alone, but the Caribbean. Non-alignment and the world community share in this loss too.
Yes, there you had it. We had some comments and tributes being paid by some of the leaders at that time in the region at the death of Forbes Burnham. Like I said earlier in the program, this program is sponsored by the Burnham Foundation. And in the past, we have tried to bring to you information about this man, his greatness, and his legacy, some things that he have done for this country. Today, the work of the foundation, it continues, and with me, I have a guest in the studio today, who is none other than the vice chairman of the foundation, Julianne Gaul. You know, she may look pretty young, but she's very firm in her ideas and views in relation to things Forbes Burnham. I am convinced that she has done a lot of research and reading on Forbes Burnham. As a result of that, we were able to, she was made the vice chairman of the foundation and is really doing some sterling work. Today I want her to tell us what is happening with the foundation, what it is doing, some of its program, things that it has done in the past, and why they're pursuing the things that they're pursuing right now. Further to that, at the later stage in the program, we will invite you to call and make your comments, like those leaders in the region who have just commented on Forbes Burnham. And then again, we're going to bring in at a later stage comments made by Dr. Shahabuddin, who was at the time the Attorney General for the country. So at this time, I want to introduce to you Ms. Julianne Gaul, and I want to welcome you to this program. First of all, I want to ask you, what is the foundation focusing now on?
Good morning, viewers, and thank you very much, Mr. Hinds, for your kind words of introduction. At this time, we're focusing on the Forbes-Burnham Mentorship and Awards Scheme. This is a new scheme the foundation would be starting, and our first batch of inductees would be on the 18th of August.
Well, let me just a mentorship scheme being launched by the foundation. Now, what does this mentorship scheme entail? You know, if the public is listening to us, they wanted to know, what is this mentorship scheme? Could you tell me what it is all about?
The mentorship scheme caters for children as they would have written the SSE, the Common Entrance Exam, and as they come out, we felt that there's a need to get them involved in some extracurricular activities, and as such we have the mentorship scheme, which caters for extra activities for them, where we also invite the parents to provide a linkage between the parents, the children, and the mentorship scheme.
Well, let me just ask you, these children who have done the SSE examination, which is comparable to what the common entrance it used to be in years gone by. These children, where will these children be drawn from? It is for any child that has done this exam, or is it specific in relation to where the foundation will be drawing these children from?
The children would be drawn from the Georgetown district of the PNCR, because this is a Forbes-Burnham Foundation project. And as such, the persons that we would be inviting, the organizations, would have a link to the founder leader. We would also be asking some trade unions to send children. As you know, Mr. Burnham was also very involved in trade union. So the children would be drawn from the trade union movement and the Georgetown district of the party, as well as the membership of the Forbes-Burnham Foundation.
That's interesting. So we have the scheme, and the scheme is catering for children who have just completed the SSE examination, grade 6 examination, and is now going into high school. And you're saying that also your complement of mentees will be from the members of the party who are who reside in Georgetown district, and also the persons that make up the Forbes-Burnham Foundation, and also the unions that Burnham were associated with. That is your catchment area for the students who will make up this scheme. Now, we need to go a little further than that. Now, who will be the mentors?
The mentors would be influential persons, mostly resource persons, rather than we are not providing mentors for individual children. What we have are resource persons who would come in. The children would meet once a month or twice a month, and we would have resource persons coming in and working with them, like social workers. We do have a medical scheme for them where we provide medical. We have doctors come in and give them annual checkups. We have camps, we have outdoor activities. It's a rounded program catered to supplement the school system.
That's an excellent idea. I must compliment you, Julian. I think that is a wonderful idea. And the mentorship scheme, as you outlined, will be catering for all these things. And you know, obviously, we have today a problem in our education system, and I think that is a wonderful initiative by the foundation to really launch a scheme of that nature. Now, additionally, at the current moment, the scheme is restricted to those organization that I've just mentioned, the Georgetown District, members of the party that Burnham was with, and members of the foundation and the unions that he was associated with. And you're saying the mentors will be persons who are respectable persons in our society that has high moral values and stand for principles and other things like that. Those are the persons that will be imparting good traits to these children who will be part of the scheme. Additionally, when will this scheme be launched? Because that might be one of the questions that we might be asking.
The scheme would be launched on the 18th of August this month, 2013. We haven't confirmed the venue, but we have already received feedback from the organization, so we have extracted the mentees who would be inducted into the first batch. We're catering for 30 students. And
but you're not overextending yourself in any way.
An annual
feature.
So as the first batch next year, the next set of children from the SSP, this first batch would go on, and we keep them in the scheme until they reach around 5th form. And so we have a continuous program as they progress in school. We would continue to meet their needs, do an assessment, and as we see the needs for them, we try to assist in whatever way we can.
A very interesting concept, and from what you have just said, I get the impression that the foundation is not extending itself to accommodate too many people in the first intake, so that there must be some measure of continuity subsequent to this program, which you intend to launch very soon. You said in the month of August, the 18th of August?
18th of August.
Well, of course, you know in the month of August, we'll be observing also the 20th death anniversary of Forbes Burnham. Yes. He died on the 5th of August, 1985. And launching your scheme on the 18th will coincide. Is that part of the activities to observe the death anniversary of Forbes Burnham?
Not directly.
But you have other things planned?
Foundation would be, on the 1st of August, we would be taking our library into the National Park.
On the 1st of August?
Yeah, the 1st
That's
of August.
That's Emancipation Day activities?
As part of the Emancipation activities, and as per normal, when the party holds its memorial activity for the founder leader, the Burnham Foundation would also participate in the wreath laying ceremony on the 6th of August.
Well, over the years, we have been doing this program, and we have tried to highlight things that Burnham have done for Guyana, and his role in fact, every area of activity in this country, including education, foreign policy, you name it, youth and development and whatever. And the foundation seemed to be going along a path where it is trying to seriously highlight and also add additional areas which can serve to create a continuum for the work and ideas of Forbes Burnham in this country. And this idea that the foundation have launched of having a mentorship scheme seems to fit quite aptly in some of the ideals and ideas that form part of the thinking of Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham. Apart from you being part of the exhibition on the 1st of August, do you plan any additional activities as part of his 20th death commemorative activities?
No, we don't have any.
Well, normally I know that the party will have a commemorative exercise at the mausoleum, and organization and individuals representative of various groups from in the regions normally go there to lay a wreath and so on. Is the foundation a part of that?
Yes, the foundation would be participating in the wreath laying ceremony. But also, going back to the mentorship scheme, we also give out a package with school supplies to the students.
Those students who have been selected?
Yeah, and therefore we are asking if anyone may be interested in making a contribution towards this mentorship scheme, whether in materials or financially. You can contact the chairman or myself or any other member of the Forbes Burnham Foundation, and you can indicate what sort of donation you might be able to give, or if you feel that you have a skill that you would like to share with the students they may be able to benefit from, and you would like to participate, you can contact us and let us know.
Wonderful, Julian. Now, the mentorship scheme is mentee specific, meaning from the party, Georgetown District, the unions of Forbes Burnham associated with. Now, how does anyone, any parent or anybody who is a member or associated with trade union get to become a part of the scheme? Do they have to apply, they make a phone call or whatever?
Yes. Each organization is given a quota of forms, and they would use their internal mechanism to reach out to the various groups on the within their organization to
distribute
the forms and submit them, and then when the forms come into us, we would extract.
But these go to the parents for the children
Yes.
who have
and
children who may have done this exam.
Also caters for parents. We have special days where we invite the parents to come in, and we have programs for them so that they can also be able to better assist their children in their educational pursuits.
Well, I think so, but you didn't mention that earlier, but I think parenting is a problem in today's society, not only in Guyana, but in every part of the world. So you're saying that the scheme caters for
Parents
admonitions
also.
and advice and counseling to parents who may have a child that is a part of the scheme. So you will go in sometime to have counseling, specific days. You're going to be providing that service as well.
Yes, we will be providing that. We provide recreational activities for the children, sports. We try to develop whatever talent and skills they already have. We try to build and expand on those.
I want to ask directly, you were saying that you have already made a selection of 30 persons.
Approximately.
Did you get excess application, or you got just exactly 30?
We still have forms coming in.
You still have some coming in. So in event of you having more than 30, that's coming in, because from what you're telling me now, the scheme, to become part of the scheme, it is not closed as yet.
Well, the deadline for submission has passed, but we're still expecting a few more forms coming in from a few more organizations.
From the party and the district, or from the unions? You still expect
from
some
some
forms?
of the organizations.
Okay, well then we see we are now the parents. Before you actually launch the scheme, is there any way, apart from us talking to them about the scheme, your application form, say for the parent, did it specify all these things that you have told me, or you will be having a point at some point where you'll be meeting with the parents before this kind of launching of the scheme?
Yes, we do have a meeting for the parents where we would give them a briefing on exactly what the scheme is all about and how their child would be involved in it.
Benefiting
we would
from
have
the
a
scheme.
meeting before.
You have a meeting before.
A briefing, yes.
So the parents and the children
the students
will be part of that briefing where the overall concept of the scheme will be outlined to them, and the role that they have to play.
The children will take an oath at the induction ceremony. They would take a pledge, they would be given a certificate and a package at the induction ceremony of school supplies.
You're saying that, so their association with the scheme, which is being launched on the 18th of August, will continue until they meet the 5th form of graduation, when they will be doing their CXC.
Yes.
Now, when the student completes his or her sojourn or tenure in the scheme and they do their CXC, is that the end of the relationship between the kind of foundation and the students, or there is a program for continuity?
We don't have a program for continuity, but some of the mentees would come back and volunteer, give voluntary service to the scheme, and we.
This is what you're hoping for, that they can come back and volunteer the service.
Yes, it has happened, and some of the former mentees, when the scheme was under the Georgetown district of the party, they have been asking about the scheme and are willing to come back and give service. We've had students who would have graduated from the University of Guyana, lawyers today, and all of them are willing to come back and give their time voluntarily to the scheme.
I said no. I want to go in the other area of the mentors. Is there a specific set of guidelines for one to qualify as a mentor?
No, not really. We look at the needs of
but
the
of course
children.
you look for mentors
and
that
we
can
would look for
impart
persons
high
who-
moral values and standards to
who are
to
qualified in the field, who has experience working with young people. Because, as you know, working with young, you may be specialized in a field, but not able to work with young people. So we get persons who have some experience working with young people, and they would come in and talk to the children on various subjects, not necessarily in relation to a specific subject in school, but generally about life, about personal hygiene, etiquette,
But
to
do you
make
think-
them a more rounded person, as
I
our
must-
founder leader has always envisioned for young people of Guyana.
I must compliment the foundation for such an idea, because in my view, I don't know, very soon on this program we'll be inviting the comments from members of the public in relation to if you would want to ask your question and make your comments specific, you can focus on the mentorship scheme that has just been outlined by Julianne so that you can have some clarification. She can give you some information as to what you can do. And further to that, we have general topics that we have already covered on this program before. And of course, you know, we have anniversary activities coming up to commemorate his 20th death anniversary. And earlier, say the last month, early in the year, in February, we commemorated his birth anniversary. But we have programs kind of continuing all the time in relation to making sure that the ideas and the work of Forbes Burnham is kept alive in this country. And I must compliment the foundation once again. I think that's an excellent idea. And you were saying that your choice of mentors, is there any evaluation being done of these mentors, or you're just a person just come in and volunteer and say, look, I want to become a mentor because your scheme sounds good, or you have a specific set of things that this mentor got to be equipped? You did say that they must have some experience in working with young people and must be somebody of one good intellect and possibly know some who stand for high moral values and so on in the society. Well, that is debatable, of course. So what are your criteria for this mentor?
Like I said before, once they are qualified, we will do an assessment. We have our own internal criteria and persons who would have worked with the scheme previously. So they have an idea. They also have an idea what is the requirement, what is necessary, what are some of the needs of the children, and we would call on them from time to time to come and give service.
Let's see what we have here, viewers. We have mentorship scheme being launched by the foundation on the 18th of August. Applications are out there at the Georgetown district for members of groups in Georgetown district. We also have forms, according to you, Julianne, at the unions that Forbes Burnham was associated with. So far, 30 applicants have already been confirmed to be mentees in this scheme, and they are having what you describe as a briefing session for parents and mentees. When is that?
We would write the parents very shortly and inform them of the
About
time
the date
and
for the
venue.
briefing.
Yeah.
And at this briefing, you'll be giving them the full outline
Yes.
as to what this scheme is all about. Now, this scheme will take care of the children in terms of admonition, guidance, as well as taking them out on different tours, and be an integral part of the mentor. The person who has taken a student will actually be part of the family where the child has come from. But of course, you know, the parents has a role to play as well. So those of you who are thinking about becoming part of the scheme, because the foundation will be taking care from forms 1 to 5. And when at the graduation time, when those students have already completed their CXC, their continuous involvement is voluntary up to now.
Yeah.
Good. I think I want to compliment you for such. Is there? Yes, you were saying.
Yes, I would also like to take this opportunity to thank all the persons who participated in our annual brunch on the CARICOM Day this month. I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the chairman, board, and members of the Forbes Burnham Foundation to thank you for your support, and we trust that the brunch was as you expected, and we endeavor to next year probably do a better job.
Well, that was very good. I was part of the brunch the morning, and I think it was an excellent arrangement. I think the attendance was good. I'm not sure what the takings have been in terms of finances, but I think the attendance was good. And from the reports that I've received, the foundation didn't make some surplus on that exercise.
Yes, the program was a success, and the success was based on the support that we received from the general public and members of the foundation.
I want to ask an additional question on the mentorship scheme. Will the students be given a certificate at the completion of their association with the scheme?
Yes, they will be given a certificate.
But of course, I'm not saying that this would happen, but let us say, for example, a student has been inducted into the scheme, a mentee, and for some reason or the other, he or she is unable to continue for reasons unknown to us, or unknown at this time. How will the foundation treat with an issue of that sort?
Well, it would depend on why the student cannot continue, maybe migration, maybe sickness, but if it's a case where the child probably maybe just having some problems at home, and so we try to work with them as far as is possible to keep them within the scheme.
Excellent. Yes, there you have it, another innovative idea from the foundation, the launching of a mentorship scheme for young people who have just completed the SSEE, or the grade 6 examination, entering the secondary school. Now, you can become a mentee if you are a member of one of the groups of the party that Forbes Burnham was associated with in Georgetown for now, and also if your parent is a member of any of the unions that Forbes Burnham was associated with. I think this idea of mentoring of young people is a really transformational idea emanating from the foundation. And the current problems that we face in our education system and with our young people, I trust that the foundation will be able to impart those programs and activities that will serve to keep those young people who are part of the scheme on track to really be the best that they can be for themselves, their family, and the nation as a whole. I would just like to tell our viewers at this point in time that we will be opening our lines to you for your comments, contributions on things Forbes Burnham, on things that he has done, on other programs that we have done. If you need to make a comment on the mentorship scheme or on any other activity that we have organized and those which we intend to organize, you have an idea, you're free to call into us. We'll be willing to note it, and as long as it's feasible, we will take those things on board. Is there anything else that you may have missed while we were conversating that you might want to say about the mentorship scheme at the moment? What is this oath?
Really.
What is this oath they talk about? There's an oath of allegiance to the scheme, or oath of it?
No, an oath that the mentees take as a part of their commitment towards the scheme.
Towards kind of pursuing the completion of the programs that is being offered.
Yeah, to cooperate with my mentors and avail myself to their guidance and assistance, to be obedient to my parents and by virtue of my conduct and approach to my schoolwork, make my parents proud of me, to endeavor to be a positive influence on my friends and not allow the negative attitudes of my friends to impact on me, to be kind, loving, and respectful young person, and an industrious and focused student.
That's a wonderful quote. I see our lines are going. Let me take a call. Morning, you're on the air.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
I'm looking into your program.
Yes, sir.
I think it's a good idea so far. But one of the things I think you guys should focus more on, since it's development of young people, is the community. Community, particularly black community. Over the years, growing up as a young man, I've noticed the destruction of this community, the disorganization of the community. Yes, many persons have put it that local government is responsible for such, but I don't believe that. I believe as a political movement, things can get back the way it was.
Okay.
So I would want to urge you guys to re-engineer a community movement in every community, particularly the black community. Because whether we like it or not, those in power has organizations that motivating, building, and organizing their communities. And so the way forward for young people, because you can do as much as you want, but in the community as a whole and the corporate body, we can change young people.
I agree.
Not single-handedly, wherever. We will have many dropouts, we'll have many strays continuously. But if it's a community, and community involves everyone,
yes,
we will have more productive youth, because that way we'll get to look into.
I didn't get you there. Like it kind of cut off. Is how many lines here, boy? Yes. All right. No, I was saying to you, I just kind of lost that call.
Wanting to say that the Burnham Foundation, first of all, is not a political movement. The Burnham Foundation basically works towards ensuring the legacy of the founder leader is continued and to keep his works, his vision alive.
I want to comment on what the gentleman said as well, but in relation to what you have said, the foundation is starting with this small group because education was a pillar on the development kind of continuum of Burnham. So we see our involvement in the area of education, in this instance, as making a contribution towards that. I see the lines are going once again. Morning, you're on the air.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
I think I'm calling you in support of the last call. I think initially what he's trying to bring over is that
I lost that call. I don't know how.
Yes, I don't know. I think there was a phone issue there. But I think what he was trying to have everyone understand is that what is actually being done with the foundation is a good initiative, because what you find is that black people or people of African descent, they're not, especially in this country, they're not aware, or there's not enough organizations that sensitizes black people on their history. There are not enough persons making a valiant effort in relation to informing black people as to what it is that they have to do and where they came from. And I am a strong believer of knowledge is power. And I think that the reason we're having so much issues with African Guyanese in this country is because it's a lack of knowledge.
Yeah, well, I tend to agree, but I'm saying that's what I was just saying to my guest today, Julianne. education was one of the pillars that formed the development kind of continuum of Forbes Burnham. And that's one of the reasons why the foundation have launched this scheme with the hope that we will start with small groups of young people coming out to at the secondary level and perhaps impart good kind of values and discipline during the period that they will be associated with the scheme. And we believe that that will go a far way in making a contribution towards redefining the role of our young people in society.
I would want to agree with you with that, because what I've noticed is that I'm not too old, neither am I too young. But what I'm saying is that I am of the belief that television, right, the media, the media it has a lot of influence on what young people today are doing. And what you'd find is that for our country, the depth and the reach as it relates to where the coverage that the television has, some of the stations, it is only a particular section or a particular group of persons that has this amount of coverage, and they're the only people who are able to expose a certain amount of information out there. So you'll find that persons who are not able to get like Channel 9 and they're not able to see all these information, especially black people, right? And in a sense, I'm of the belief that they're being slowly brainwashed or poisoned as it relates to it. And African persons are not empowered because they don't know what is going on. I was looking at a program on Channel 9 the other day. It was telling me about the parade ground. I didn't even know the significance of parade ground. I didn't even know what was going on there. I'm passing there almost every day. I grew up playing basketball on Burnham's court and these things. And you know, it was strange to me that there is actually a fight now for a monument to go on parade ground.
All right. Thank you very much.
But I think we need to inform people more.
Yes, okay.
It's a good work. I congratulate you guys on what you're doing. I'm glad for it, and you know.
All right.
Channel 9 is doing an excellent job.
Yeah, thank you much. Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you very much. I just want to say that the Forbes Burnham Foundation, as I said before, is about the legacy of the founder leader. And as part of that legacy, as you would know, our founder leader was a patriot, a Guyanese nationalist, and therefore our programs cater for all Guyanese, regardless of race, color, or creed. And as such, the mentees of this program would not be selected based on race, but rather on, once they're a member of the organizations, they will be extracted, and all our programs cater for Guyanese, not necessarily any specific race or political affiliation.
Thank you, Julianne, on that. I want to go back. Earlier in our program, I had some comments from some leaders in the region commenting and paying tributes to Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham. I want to go back to the tape now, then we're going to continue with the calls before we come to the end of our program. So I want to ask my operator to go to the tape with those comments and tributes on Forbes Burnham, and then we come back to the calls.
I have the honor to open these solemn proceedings by inviting you to mark our respect by standing in silence for 2 minutes. Thank you, and do be seated. We have come to bury our dead. We have come from every part of our country to take our leader home. All the myriad elements, all the rich variety of often discordant qualities, all of a whole range of sometimes dissonant and clashing signals and sounds, which he blended with his magic and meshed into the music of a united people. They have all come. They have come to be silent witnesses for the man who took on history, who challenged the past, who dared both the present and the future, to conceive, to create, to shape, to consolidate the society which is ours today. He was our teacher. He was our guide. He was our seer. When we despaired, he gave us hope. When we lost the way, he led us forth. When we spoke the language of strife, he counseled peace. When there was darkness, he brought us into the sunshine. From out of humiliation, he gave us pride. He restored our dignity. He gave us the strength of the past while freeing us from its grip. He took us into the family of nations. He built us a home. He secured it for us. He was our sword and our buckler. He was my friend. He was your friend. He was our friend. He was the friend of fighters for freedom everywhere. And we have come to tell him that what he has wrought, we will preserve, we will promote, we will defend. We have come to promise that we will not give up his quest of even greener pastures for his people. We have come to thank him for showing us the light, for setting us on the way, for giving us the means to continue, the will to continue, indeed the need to continue. We cannot fail him. We must not fail him. For he was our liberator. He was the paladin of our liberties. He was our Prometheus. He was the father of the nation. His Herculean labors are now done. And now that he is no more, we have come to sing him one last song. We have come to sing him to rest in the undying warmth of an ever-grateful people's love. We have come also to comfort his grieving but courageous widow, children, and relatives. We have come to let them know that his place in our nation is secure. We have come to tell them and to tell the world that every beating Guyanese heart will forever be a monument to Lyndon, Forbes, Sampson, Burnham.
Forbes, Sampson, Burnham, well known as the master politician and was an outstanding statesman. He was a great leader and our hero, you understand. That's why we remember Burnham.
Yeah, viewers, there you had it. Dr. Shahabuddin giving some comments on but we're going to be going to another cut very soon on Hugh Desmond Hoyt, his comments at the time of the death of Burnham. But I want to invite our viewers to continue with the calls. We're going to go back to our calls again and see what we have. I see the lines are going. I just take this one. Yes, morning on here.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
Like this program, you know, because I could remember as a little small boy when the king cut us the strike.
Yes.
He's the only president ever sent out the people from the finance minister for cut the cane.
Mm-hmm.
I could remember behind Moko, Viola Burnham, everybody cut the cane and load the pontoon. I ain't seen these things happening now. You see? I know Black Bush, factories built, Magaruma, Charity, all these places Burnham built factories. And none of these things I'm getting highlighted because it just because it's Burnham do it. And nobody highlighting it. Nobody know about these things. I know about it, I did not about a factory in industrial site. Saltfish factory, all these things. And what's saltfish now? All these production gone up. Saltfish shipping out to the country. Wise people say these saltfish would have never gone away. And what going on today?
Well,
Burnham do a lot of good.
Of course, he internationalized the industry.
I'm watching these things what Burnham do. When he was to build the hydro, the opposition attack him. Else we done got hydro in this country. Now, what's going on? You get a sheer friction. Thanks, have a good day, man.
All right, thank you for calling. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now we want to go back. Let me hear what Hoyt, your viewers, let us hear what Hoyt had to say at the death. Like I said, this year will make 28 years. We're going to be commemorating his death anniversary come next month. And of course, the foundation will be having a program to highlight things Forbes Burnham will be part of the Emancipation Day activities at the National Park. In fact, if the foundation, Ms. Gaul has just outlined, we'll be having an exhibition for the foundation during the Emancipation Day activities. I don't know if my operator is ready for the... Yes, we're going to go right away to the clip with Hoyt.
Was no ordinary mortal. In paying tribute to him, a world leader described him as one of the most outstanding figures of this century. But many years ago, our party's deputy leader, Comrade Ptolemy Alexander Reed, noted and remarked upon his uniqueness and pronounced the deep truth that such a leader comes to us once in an era and not necessarily with every generation. He was richly and splendidly endowed with those rare and special faculties that are reserved only for leaders of men and makers of history. His was a prodigious intellect, keen, probing, receptive to new ideas, new possibilities. His was a seemingly inexhaustible store of mental and physical energy. His was a phenomenal memory for dates, events, faces, and names. His was a wonderful ability to make friends and to sustain friendships. And his also was a lively sense of humor that he was wont to use with great effectiveness to save the day when nerves became frayed and tempers grew short. His personal charm was legendary, and he possessed the princely grace of being able to make people in humble positions, simple folk, feel at ease and comfortable in his presence. And among the gifts so lavishly bestowed on him was a transcendental power of oratory and eloquence, by which he could move his audience to both ecstasy and persuasion. These are but few of the remarkable attributes and qualities that made up the man Forbes Burnham. And he deployed them with consummate skill and resoluteness to serve the causes which he espoused and which were dear to his heart. In a special sense, the causes to which he dedicated his life and for which he fought with such strenuousness and tenacity, both at home and abroad, could be brought under a single rubric: a struggle against inhumanity and a struggle for social justice. He abhorred any system or set of arrangements which resulted in or facilitated the degradation, impoverishment, or exploitation of man by man. That is why throughout his life he identified with and championed the cause of the poor, the oppressed, the disadvantaged, the vulnerable. He could never accept any thesis that poverty, ignorance, disease, and related evils were a natural or inevitable element in social organization. He refused to believe that, given the political will, it was beyond human competence and ingenuity to organize society and economic interrelations in a way that minimized these evils. And that is why he was a socialist. For him, socialism was about ameliorating and improving continuously the human condition. And he passionately believed that this was a duty cast upon all governments and all people by the requirements of common humanity. He was essentially a humane person. We who have had the privilege of being close to him can testify to the remarkable humanity, kindliness, indeed gentleness, which went into the greatness of the man. Certainly, the magnificence of his mind never for one moment blinded him to the merits of opposing points. Frequently, in those hard-fought debates, which are an essential and living part of our internal democracy, I have seen him begin strong, only gracefully to concede after argument to a different point of view. Indeed, argument and debate was the very stuff of his life, and the challenge of an opposing view the fuel of his intellect. Our country has had many heroes, many of them titans in their own right. But we have now lost our best friend. And I believe also that our region and the third world will be the poorer for his passing. And so today, our own titan sleeps. His sleep is just. His work well done. His loss cannot be made good. Yet, even as the hour of his passing crept up upon him unannounced, we knew that his strength would be with us today, tomorrow, and all time. For Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham cannot be held down by temporal dimensions of his age, nor can the context in which he lived and acted supply the measure of the man. For us in Guyana, he was of our time, but he was also above all time.
Yes, there you had it, speech by Hugh Desmond Hoyt. Early in the program I said to you that CARICOM has just recently observed its 40th anniversary. I'm told that our current president failed to give recognition to Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham at that forum, while other leaders in the region, like you have just heard earlier in the program, have paid glowing tributes to Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham for his contribution towards the establishment of CARICOM. We are not here to pass judgment on anybody, but we are just trying to tell the public, inform you as to how things are at the present moment. I would just take one call because we're running out of time. I see our lines are going. Morning, you're on the air.
Good morning.
Morning, my dear.
Sometimes, could you all take calls off air when you're on a break, like you had a break just now?
Yes, yes.
I want to say it's not only when there's election time. I know the Forbes Burnham Foundation is not political. The people should come out into areas like West, East La Penitent, to talk to the people, not just come out only when election time. And another thing, please, can you address our leaders as either Prime Minister or Mr., not White or Burnham or Tongs? It is respectful. Please address them properly. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. Yes, we're running out of time. I want to ask my guest, Julianne Gaul, whether she wants to say anything just before we close.
Yeah, just like to thank viewers, thanks the caller for the correction. The mentorship scheme would be launched on the 18th of August, and we would like to thank the viewers and all those who would have participated in our programs, and thank you for your support in terms of your kind words, and we will continue these programs and continue to bring more information about the founder leader, Mr. Eliphas Burnham.
Yeah, and today this is the 20th day of July. We are observing the 20th anniversary of Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham, the first executive president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, and also the Caribbean man of the 20th century, come August. I want to thank our viewers for allowing me in your living rooms and in your bedrooms and possibly in your kitchen until the next fourth Sunday coming up in August, when we will have again another program, The State of the Nation. I'm your host, Clayton Hinds, and thank you.